Austro-Hungarian Empire, they didn't want Prague to be a competitor, so they allowed no building in the city of Prague during that whole period when, almost every other major European capital looks like a 19th century city in large part, because they tore down all the medieval stuff. You got Haussmann Boulevards or whatever in Paris, and none of that in Prague. It is a very old city. And it also was pretty well frozen in place when socialism came, and it's now, it's almost a third world country. So it's interesting.
St. Paul, it's not that much better. But.
Yeah, well, St. Paul is another third world country as well. How's the sound? Is it about right?
Yep, sounds great. I'll look down every once in a while, try. I hope you won't get distracted by the camera or me or my moving around.
Probably will.
Okay.
Where should I look, basically? Into the camera?
Look at me.
Look at you, not
Yeah,
into the camera. Okay.
Right. Okay, well, I'll just...
You want me to wait outside? Just
No.
have one less distraction?
No, that's no problem, if you don't move around a lot.
I was going to have a puppet show. But
Yeah, right. Well, puppet show would actually help. I would appreciate that.
Okay, now, what exactly is your relationship with Buena Vista College? Exactly how do you have ties with Buena Vista College?
Well, at the moment, my official tie to Buena Vista College is as a member of the Board of Trustees.
Okay, let's try that again.
Quite ready. Should I call you by name when I talk? Should
No,
I?
just answer.
Just answer to the anonymous person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're ready?
Yep.
Well, my official capacity with the college is as a member of the Board of Trustees. One of the two new members of the Board of Trustees, I hasten to add. But I have family ties that go back a long ways with the college, which of course was founded in my great-grandfather's law office. And my great-grandfather, my grandfather, and my father have always all been involved with the college and members of the Board of Trustees. So it's one of those family ties that as one gets older, one values more and more. It's a very important thing to me.
Okay. In the 1980s, Buena Vista seemed to round a corner, moving from a day-to-day, year-to-year concern for mere survival to an outgoing quest for excellence and distinctiveness. For you, what's the most exciting dimension of this change? And in what ways do you think Buena Vista is making and will continue to make its mark?
Well, it's clear that with the elimination of poverty at Buena Vista, the opportunities to serve the students in teaching have increased. It's clear that the opportunity to provide financial aid to students has increased. Those are very important. But I guess the thing that excites me most about the opportunities in the next decade and beyond for the college really are to realize the college's full potential, which, as I see it, is the ability to create an environment for students that allows each person to really be better than he has any right to be. If you look at the great colleges and universities in the world, what separates the great ones from the others is that they really create a place, an expectation, a self-image, where each individual believes that he can grow, and where each individual really becomes more than they almost have any right to be, better than they would be if they were elsewhere. And Buena Vista has an increasingly good student body that I would like to see the college put its emphasis on becoming that kind of a college where people will have the self-image, the expectations to be better than they would otherwise be. It's a notion of excellence that I think colleges and universities are particularly good at bringing out, and I think Buena Vista has a lot of potential.
Okay. A lot of the visitors to the campus and just those, a lot of those who haven't even been to Storm Lake before, they'll remark that it seems like there's something in the air. There's a kind of an aura. And do you sense this feeling, or have a sense of this, and not only just the changes, but feeling these changes? How would you describe this?
Well, I do feel that change in the aura surrounding Buena Vista. Part of it is certainly the enhancement of the physical campus, the forum. Part of it is certainly the quality of the students. And I think another part of it is the very special town-gown relationships that Buena Vista and Storm Lake have always enjoyed. There is a feeling that is really wonderful to see, and I think that the sort of enthusiasm that feeling is creating is going to create some tremendous momentum for the college.
Okay. The tradition of Buena Vista has been one of incredible sacrifice, determination, and a kind of selflessness on the part of the Buena Vista community, faculty, students, administrators, trustees, etc., and the people in the community of Storm Lake. Do you think that now the college has found at last a level of prosperity that will move away from this tradition, or are the challenges of the second century in their own way going to demand a lot more of the community, the Buena Vista community?
Well, I think the level of commitment to the college, the selflessness, the sacrifices that are necessary won't really be any less in the future as Buena Vista moves into its new phases. I think, however, it may be more fun because it's always fun to be with a winner, and it's always fun when you are creating something that you know is as good as it can be. And if Buena Vista can realize its potential now to create that environment that will create students better than they would be if they were elsewhere, that will be fun. And the fun, I think, will make it easier for all of us to feel the commitment that will be necessary to accomplish it.
Okay. And despite a decade of unsurpassed prosperity for the college, Buena Vista still remains a small institution, somewhat isolated in a corner of northwest Iowa, far from the activity and turmoil of the world. And in the second century, how can BVC make a contribution that, say, maybe a college in the cities wouldn't be able to do, as an example?
Right. Well, I don't know that Buena Vista is really all that isolated. For one thing, Buena Vista, of course, has a wonderful ACES program that hooks it in with people from around the world. In this electronic day, being located in northwestern Iowa is really not any sort of handicap in being part of the world community. Recently on campus we had a live hook-in with Lech Walesa, in which students could ask questions, have questions answered by him. So it really isn't, I think, any kind of a liability to be located where the college is. And what's really important to me, of course, is that the students that Buena Vista draws are increasingly good, and the impact that the college has on those students goes far beyond any geographical area. It's a world outlook that Buena Vista is bringing to these students, and it will probably become more so in the future.
What kind of work does BV have cut out for itself in the next 100 years? And what is your sense of how that mission is related to the past?
Well, the motto of Buena Vista is education for service, and I think that will very much be the motto in the future. There's nothing outdated about that. The past the past saw Buena Vista that had a strong emphasis on almost being a teacher's college, a strong emphasis on training teachers. I think that in the future it will be one of the great liberal arts colleges that will have a strong emphasis on business. That's in line with the past traditions of the college of education for service. It's updated. It's very much forward-looking and very much looking into a broad and international and changing world.
In many ways, the students today are much different from the first-class students 100 years ago, but perhaps in many ways they're not so different. What do you think are the most critical things Buena Vista must do for or provide for the students in the next century?
Well, in the next century, it seems to me that Buena Vista wants to provide the type of education that really prepares a person for a world that changes more rapidly all of the time. Training is not enough. Obviously, you need a true liberal education. You need to learn how to think. I think it's important that, unlike many educational institutions, Buena Vista requires and expects a great deal of liberal arts education along, for example, with a business major. That's terribly important because the exact type of business you may be trained for today may be very different 5 years from now. And I think the liberal arts education, the emphasis on learning to think, on broad-based understanding of culture and where we come from, will never be more important than it will be in the future. And I think Buena Vista is uniquely situated to capitalize on that.
Do you have any additional thoughts or comments to make about Buena Vista's future or how the college's past relates to the future?
One thinks about the future of Buena Vista College. One can't help but realize that the quality of its graduates will guarantee the future of Buena Vista College, and it's very rewarding to see what's happening at the college today in that respect. It is, of course, one of the private colleges in America, and we have a very strong tradition of private colleges that bring a diversity that most countries, really no other country, has to the level that America does. And I think it's one of our unique strengths. And Buena Vista, it seems to me, is right at the forefront of playing a role in that diversity with its own special blend of liberal arts and business and other emphases. The future is going to be an awful lot of fun for Buena Vista.
You just told me before that your family has been, or your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather have all been on the Board of Trustees. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Now, do you, now you're on the Board of Trustees, do you feel part of a continuity?
Well, I do feel part of continuity that's very important to me, of being a fourth-generation member of the Board of Trustees of Buena Vista College. It is terribly important to me, I guess, as a personal thing. And I see Buena Vista as a college that has some very fine traditions in its past and a very strong platform from which it can now move into the future. It's on the cusp of being one of those institutions, one of those educational institutions that has that ability to make people better than they would be if they were elsewhere. And that's what education is all about.
Anything else that you feel might be good?
Well, I wonder, I don't know. You know, you try to think in terms of what you're really looking for here. It seems like you're going to want one short capsule statement of something, and I don't know whether we've captured that yet.
I think we've got
well
some
on
really
film.
good things to.
There's some things to work with. I suppose we could, we could try a couple of them again and see if we can get the nuance a little better or get them more articulately stated. I don't know how it's coming across. You probably have a better sense than I do.
Okay, let's see. No,
Shall I just kind of try to summarize?
Yeah.
Okay. If you ask me to summarize why all the excitement about Buena Vista right now, I would say that we have a new level of support under the college. We have a new quality of students. We have a level of aid to students. We have the highest faculty scale in the conference. We have great physical facilities on a beautiful lake. We have really terrific town-gown relations. We have an ACES program. We have other international programs that give the college new breadth. It's a very exciting level from which the college now has the potential to really move to what its potential is. And when you think about the colleges and universities that really make a unique contribution, I think it is because they have the ability to create in people an expectation, a sense that they can be better than, greater than they ever thought they could be. And Buena Vista, I think, now is poised in a position to create that kind of an environment. And it's a matter of emphasizing what is good, of making the programs even better, of building upon the strengths that the college has to become one of those unique institutions, as it already is becoming, I think, that can make that contribution to students' lives.
Okay. What is it that makes Buena Vista so special? I guess from the student standpoint, for instance, just, all right, a student who wants to go into business, what makes Buena Vista so special and exciting to go to that they would want to pick Buena Vista over another institution?
Well, I think what makes Buena Vista so exciting, for example, for a student who wants to go into business, the reason why that student should pick Buena Vista over another college is that Buena Vista has a vision of what how a student should be educated that I think is really important. The world changes faster all the time, it seems, and to think of training people for business careers without giving them a solid liberal arts education, an ability to think, to write, to speak clearly is a terrible mistake. Slight fraud upon the student, and Buena Vista has a clear commitment and ability to giving that broader education, which is, as a student, for example, in business, is really what one should be after at the undergraduate level.
Okay. I think we have everything we need.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else
Okay.
right now.
See if I can go.
Let me see. Well, we get to go and head down to Buena Vista today.
You gonna drive back?
Federal Express can't get it down there.
Uh-huh.
So
So you're gonna drive it down?
yeah.